Twitch. Welcome to our stream run by Filthy Capitalists.
Oh my god. Why? Why do you do this to me?
Because I love you.
Some viewers needs to leave right the fuck now.
We're just kidding. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're very excited to start playing.
Jeez, you just
I'm
doing my whole job for me. Wow. Rude. Okay. Good evening. let's just get into the recap before I waste any more time here. So we picked up in the latter stages of the siege on Sandpoint, being brought on by the Stone Giants, as well as their red dragon that they've sort of allied with for this task. We started with some more disturbances to the south, as there was one group of Stone Giants that were assaulting the Two Night Brewery, and they were demanding all of the beer in exchange for sparing the lives of the people who worked there. And the other group was attacking the Scarnetti Manor. You guys haven't been over there yet, as you chose to run to the cathedral and deal with the dragon. Once you got there, you saw Kat went there first. You saw Edge and a person wearing a cloak and battle gear, someone that you've never seen before, you don't recognize. And you guys, after Edge removed his helmet and revealed his sort of identity to the dragon, was finally able to goad the dragon into a fight. The fight had, I would say, two major influences that in terms of the outcome. One was the fact that while hitting the dragon proved difficult, even after Dream had dispelled the I believe it was mage armor that the dragon had cast on itself. Kat was able to make a bunch of her spells stick. There was obviously a magic missile, which doesn't need any effort to do that, and then there was lightning orbs, and she even managed to land a hit with the crossbow, miraculously.
It's because it's the new shiny one.
It's the new shiny one that you still needed to roll a natural 19 to hit the dragon, but you did get it. You got one. There was that, and then Dino gave everyone within reach, so it wasn't everybody, but most of you were benefiting from a protection from fire spell, which basically just negated a lot of the damage coming from the dragon's fire breath, as I was consistently rolling ones on the cooldown for it, so it basically had it up every turn. Eventually, you guys hurt the dragon enough to drive it away, and this was basically as Cade had finally arrived at the cathedral. Cade was a bit behind because Cade was throwing out diversions and distractions and other things to slow down the group of stone giants that were in pursuit. But once Cade got there, the dragon had effectively been driven off, and the stone giants were not far behind, and the leader who was with them sounded his horn to basically call for a retreat. In the aftermath, you guys were able to interrogate one of the stone giants that Terractinus and his group intentionally left behind, mostly because Cade got him with a murderous command and made him attack Terractinus, so he wasn't too happy about that. You guys got a boatload of information out of him, including their leader's name, Mokmurian, as well as where he's based in a large sort of fortress called Jorgenfist. That there are many tribes and warbands of stone giants, as well as some other creatures that were referred to as like lesser giants, things like ogres, trolls, stuff like that. Um, there were a lot of threats made about how Mokmurian's going to crush you guys, and he's planning this attack that's going to come within the next month or so. And in exchange for all that information, you guys let him go, and he left town. You didn't really, none of you really cared too much about like where he went. He just left. Um, and then most of you went back to the Rusty Dragon to get yourselves some drinks and some food before. I mean, this wasn't necessarily said, but before maybe going to investigate some of the other areas of town or help some of the locals with um, getting themselves back on their feet. If their homes or their businesses were damaged. Um, Urslan went off on her own to try and harvest some stone giant flesh for God knows what reason. She had talked later on about like turning it into jerky, but either way, it ended up being a hack job. Not a lot of usable stuff came from it. Um, Still bleeding everywhere. And then Urslan decided to shoot Cade in the leg while on the Rusty Dragon with the Slither Suit bullet. And Cade's only crime was setting up a music box. And
speaking too much.
yeah, and meanwhile, also Dino had stepped out at one point to go see if Shayless was around. He did not find Shayless at the general store. Kat went to the armory to check on Sava. Sava ended up coming back to the Rusty Dragon. And then Kat just wouldn't stop telling everyone that she has a girlfriend. That was a significant part of the conversation. But I think I've covered just about all of it from last week. So yeah, we'll pick up from here. It is early afternoon. As the like I said, the siege began sort of not long after you guys woke up in the morning. Spent some time doing that, and now you're back. You've all eaten and had some drinks. They served you guys heaping plates of chicken curry with rice and big mugs of winter drop mead, and so you guys are satiated at least for that purpose. And Edge is still here too, so that's also a thing. But yeah, we'll pick up from there. What do you guys want to do?
I love to help others. Dino's sitting at half health, so Lily, out.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys want to heal up, so we can do that. Edge can assist with that as well. He still has a couple spells left over, I think. Yeah, Edge will hit you with a couple cure light wounds.
The wrong fucking button.
So yeah, he heals Dino a little bit. What's everybody else doing?
Is Cade like not flubable anymore?
Yeah, you made a save.
Okay.
Yeah, you failed the first save right after you got shot, and then the second save was a success.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. So then Cade's gonna go around the town and see how their townmates are all doing. See if like kind of just tally of the dead and
Yeah, Kat is going to be doing the same thing with Sava.
All right. So in the immediate area, around the Rusty Dragon. You guys can pretty clearly see across the harbor where all the manors are. There's still a little bit of smoke coming from the Scarnetti Manor. The other buildings around you guys. Let me make sure I have the right thing open here. Yeah, so the Two Night Brewery, which is just down the street, that looks like it's sustained a bit of structural damage from the giants kind of pounding at it and throwing rocks at it. Um, Other than that, there's not too much damage right around here, at least. The bulk of the damage is still probably up by the cathedral and the theater. Edge is going to continue healing people. He's down to just lay on hands now, but he'll take care of that. He has a bunch more uses. So let's see. Oh, hold on. Those numbers are not correct.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello.
I can be heard.
All right, so he's gonna do 3 uses to kind of top Dino up.
Hey, can I do that instead?
Yeah, you can. You still have plenty of channel energies and other healing spells at your disposal.
Yes. I just need to load up the thing. Channel energy for everyone to top off. That's
While we're waiting for that, what are I know Kate and Kat are going around helping people with Sava. What about everyone else?
I'll go try and help people too.
All right, we'll say any
I'm gonna go
healing.
clean the blood and guts off of me, I guess.
We'll say any healing that's done here is done before you guys leave. That way, everyone benefits. All right, so that is good enough to
Here's a question.
almost top up.
They did channel energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
That does 26 damage but 25 healing. Is that at the same time?
No, because it's
Well,
separate.
it's damage for undead.
Yeah, it's separate rolls. The damage is if you're using it to damage undead. You have to choose which one you're doing before you use it. I just like
Yeah.
having the rolls separate because I don't know. I'm weird.
Can I do it one more time just to top it, everyone?
Yeah.
Top everyone off.
Yeah, I think you still have enough uses.
Yeah, I have like one left after this one.
All right, so another 18. So that'll top everyone up except for Cade.
Except for Cade.
Yeah. And Cade's only down 6
Hero Kite wounds.
Oh yeah, that should do it. Just because you have the huge caster level bonus. Yeah, even though you rolled a 1, that's enough. All right, so everyone's topped off.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So yeah, like I was saying with Cade and Cat going out, since Dream also wants to do that, kind of the same thing. You look across the harbor. There's still smoke coming out of the Scarnetti Manor. Most of the damage in the town is still to the north, where like the cathedral, the theater, um, that general area probably has sustained, and the garrison as well, have sustained like the most in terms of like fire damage. The rest is sort of just like around town. It's kind of just like broken windows, you know, broken like outer walls from like large rocks being thrown into buildings, stuff like that. But yeah, all of you find that there are many townspeople who are around and already helping the cause to get things at least somewhat back in order. There's a larger group of people who are currently running sort of like assembly line style. They're going with buckets to any nearby water sources to help sort of put out the fire that's still going over at the theater. Um, the garrison and the cathedral, those were much more minor. In the time that it took you all to kind of sit around the table and eat and unwind a little bit, those fires have been put out at least. The one at the theater it's under control, but it's still going.
Still going.
Yeah, it's still going. Like it's not like a wildfire kind of blaze like it was when it first started, but yeah, it's not quite out yet.
And I'm gonna do my best to help put it out.
Okay, yeah, so you can certainly join the efforts to help extinguish the fires at the theater, and anyone else who wants to be a part of that can do so as well.
I guess they'll help after cleaning up the bloody guts.
Jeez, why is everybody Daft Punking right now? Hang on, let me
One more time.
yeah, one more. Let me drop from the call and come back. All right. So I would say it takes I don't know, probably like a half hour or so to once you guys are there to just act as like extra pairs of hands to finish putting out the fires at the theater. Obviously, the theater has sustained the most damage compared to any other place in town. It still stands, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be operational for a little bit until like, significant repairs are made.
Mhm. I'm gonna ask the others to find out if the giants have taken anyone, and I'm gonna wild shape into a Triceratops and do what I was doing before and collect more wood for repairs and whatnot.
All right, so yeah, you make your way out into the forest to gather some wood for repairs. You actually also find that a fair amount of the wood that you had brought over initially to fortify the gate, fair amount of that wood is still in a good enough shape that it can be repurposed. So that is going to cut down the time required for you to gather enough wood pretty significantly.
Let's go.
So while Dino is handling that, what does everyone else want to do?
I want to go around town and see if anyone needs help.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing too.
All right. So
I guess I'll join in that.
okay. So yeah, also, most of you seem like you want to do that. Edge is gonna offer help as well, and yeah, basically you guys kind of just go around. using your skills and in some cases magic to sort of fix things around town. Those of you who are able to cast mending find it helpful, even though it does take some time. A lot of these things are a bit more damage than one casting a mending can fix, but slowly but surely, you guys patch up a good amount of the damage to the town. I would say that happens over the next like few hours. In doing so and going around the town, you most of you, mostly Cade, just because Cade knows pretty much everyone in town already from having lived here for their whole life. Cade kind of takes like mental notes about really just accounting for everyone in the town that they know. Um, by the time you guys have gone through most of the town, at least, it really seems like due to the fact that you guys were able to slow down Terractinus especially, but also deal with the dragon in within enough time. There doesn't seem to be anyone that's unaccounted for in the town.
Kate's very happy about this and like secretly just praises pretty much all the gods from the temple, because assuming that they were all in some form watching over everyone. And Kate just kind of goes back to the group and goes, "So they're all coming back. How are we going to fix this?"
Magic. I'm sorry, was my answer not good enough? Hello?
Magic.
Oh, okay. There was somebody here. Okay.
Yeah, no, we're here.
Oh,
Just,
they
I don't
got
know.
a stone guy.
For some reason, we're not very talkative tonight.
I'm trying.
Eating wood.
I know. Yeah, yeah. Dino's out doing his thing. I'm not worried about that. It's just, I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of dead air so far. That's okay. A bunch of us have had a stressful week. Yeah. So with most of the town accounted for, and some of the more minor repairs having been taken care of through the use of kind of basic magic like mending, um, it kind of just leaves some other places that have like multiple like broken windows. They'll have to figure that out with seeing if the glassworks can help them out with that at all, or others that have had some kind of structural damage. They'll have to kind of figure that out beyond cantrips and such. But yeah, the smoke that was coming from the manor has somewhat dissipated. There's still a bit billowing up. Um, Seems a little bit strange to you guys that it's still going on, but yeah, that's the only real remaining like actual trouble spot in town when it comes to repairs. Um, Forgot to mention, as you're all going through the town and offering your aid in whatever way you can, all of the townsfolk around, all the people like Hannah and Jabrail and all those guys. Everyone is singing your praises as you're going through the town. That you've not only saved the town and saved their lives, but you're also doing the little things around and helping them get back on their feet. So you're all just showered with praise as you go through. And even though Dino wasn't there for part of it, it doesn't take him as long as it takes all of you to do this stuff, so he's able to, if he wants to, he's able to also lend a hand in town. But
Of
yeah,
course.
like I said, everyone in town just gives you like a hero's welcome as you come through to help them out.
Hell yeah.
So I know we had some other things going on, such as like working on magic items and waiting for magic items. Like I said, there's still whatever's happening at the manor, but if you guys don't want to do that, that's fine. We can just go ahead and time skip or whatever. Whatever you guys.
I
wanna
just
do,
wanted
really.
to. I'm down for the manor if y'all are.
Might as well.
Down for what?
Manor's on fire.
Oh.
You're my brother, I'm guessing.
It's Morbin time. All right. So, the manor when you arrive is obviously in somewhat of a state of disrepair. I know the map doesn't exactly reflect this, but when you arrive, you find that there is a wagon sitting here, a larger wagon that appears to have been abandoned. Um, it does strike again, Kate in particular, knowing who these people are. Kate, it does strike you as odd that there's like a wagon left here. While the Scarnettis do have businesses around and are typically seen as an industrious family, they also don't make a habit of leaving their possessions outside. So this does seem a little weird to you. The wagon, it has a cover on it right now, so you can't like see whatever goods are on it from where you're standing. But since it doesn't appear that there's anyone else around, you can certainly inspect it if you wish.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to inspect it. Stealth.
Okay.
Stealthily.
All right, go ahead and roll stealth.
Guidance.
Stealthily. Stealthily.
All right, 14. So, yeah, you move over to the wagon. You pull back the cover a bit, and you find quite a number of valuables on this wagon. You see that there are 4 tapestries that are made of silk. There are 3 chests of that appear to contain like tableware. It's not entirely made out of silver, as you know, all of these pieces are, well, they're silver, but they're also inlaid with gold. There are 3 barrels that when you go to push them or otherwise move nudge them a little bit, they're all full. And there is a wooden desk that is also inlaid with silver and gold on the wagon. That is everything. The desk also feels like it has some sort of contents inside, as your curious nature spurs you to kind of nudge that as well.
What's in the wagon?
What's in the wagon?
What's in the
What's in
wagon?
the wagon?
What's
Okay, I'm
in the
gonna look.
wagon?
Okay, I'll look.
I literally just told you everything that was in the wagon, but I'll.
No, I know. I wasn't sure.
I was asking Cade what's in the wagon.
Okay, well, no, I only said that because I saw the perception roll, but
Okay, yeah, I was just kind of being facetious to everyone else. Meaning, like,
So what I'm understanding is, Ed, is we're like, so what's in the wagon, and Cade just do his exaggerated looking again.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I was like taking account of everything. I was like in my brain trying to process, am I going to repeat exactly what Tim said, or am I going to, and then I was like, well, how am I going to be snarky? And then I rolled for it. So yes, I repeat that all back to everyone, and I'm gonna open one of the barrels and sniff it.
Okay.
Because I don't want to drink poison.
You open a barrel and it is full of wine.
Oh, I was gonna say this is an important question. Do you sniff or do you waft?
Sniff.
It's full of it's full of red wine.
Kate immediately just kind of puts a cork, like that little tasting cork, back in, and kind of looks at everyone, goes, "That's a lot of alcohol." And then I kind of start fumbling with the desk, and I like after shouting at everyone, goes, "Expensive things."
Okay. Roll perception for the desk.
Not bad.
Okay. So you search the desk and it seems that there are just kind of just like random odds and ends in there. Like things like kind of nice looking like quills and pens, and there's some like I guess like a stamp that would be used for some kind of business transactions. You do rattle the desk around a bit, and it does seem like there might be more in there. You just don't know where it is.
What's in the desk?
I repeat what I just found to everyone from what I say, and I just saying frustrated. And I was like, I feel like there's got to be some type of secret compartment or something, but I don't know how to fucking open any of this shit. From what I can see, this is what's here.
Watch the master. Guidance.
Okay. 28. Same result.
Fuck.
Can I
What are you
try?
trying to do?
Something hidden in the desk. We don't know where it is.
Can I try?
Oh,
I'll
I'm not
try.
with them, am I?
Yeah, I mean you're all here. There's no one around. You can certainly try to look, including familiars if you want them to
Damn it!
attempt this.
Alright,
I'm
I guess I'll
oblivious.
try and open the desk.
Give nurse
Lily
guidance.
Lily's just like, that's a desk.
I want to try again. This
Just
is
like,
the last-
yes, desk.
What are you guys looking for? It's just a desk.
Yeah.
Wait, this is gonna sound really odd. Can I try to
What's in
use?
the desk?
Okay.
There's one!
Urslan finds the hidden compartment.
Is it locked? Can I open it?
Uh,
Oh, an ender eye. How'd he die?
once you find it, you're it doesn't have any sort of like difficult mechanisms. Like you can pop it open relatively easily. So you do that, and you find a folder that has several letters in it. The letters are addressed to the head of the household, Titus Scarnetti. And they are written by someone who one of you is extremely familiar with. The letters are written by Jubrail.
Oh. Does Ursula tell us?
Wait. I don't know. Can you tell me what the letter says so I could turn it?
Yeah, sure, yeah. Okay, yeah. So you spend a minute or two like reading the letters. You find that the contents are that Jubrail was hired by Titus to burn down several other mills in the region. And not only that, you see like 3 or 4 of them, I guess one for each of the mills that Titus hired Jubrail and his men to take out. And there's one final letter where Jubrail has informed Titus that he has pulled an Uno reverse card and is now blackmailing him for money, or else he's going to reveal the whole plot to Sheriff Hemlock.
Alright, I guess I will relay this information. Yeah, that's right, burn in the sun, bitches. Sorry.
So, refresh my memory. Who's Titus?
So the Scarnettis are one of like the four founding families in Sandpoint. Um, in addition to Ameko's family and Mayor Devrin's family, and the fourth one is currently evading me, but I will get that information. Ah, yes, the Valdemar Manor, which is the manor that you went to the very beginning of the game when you guys took the job board for the lost child. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
the super haunted one.
yes, the spooky one. So yeah, those are the four founding families of Sandpoint. Um, the the Scarnettis are known for, in addition to having lots of businesses and being really involved in industries, they are also known for being like a rather unscrupulous bunch. And these letter exchanges between Titus and Jabrail seem to only confirm that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna relay all this information to everybody.
So let me get this straight. Titus and Jabrail are working together to do something bad, but then Jabrail did the universe card to say, yeah, if you don't do what I say, I'm revealing you. So is Jabrail good or bad in this situation?
He's neither. He's for Jabril.
I will say that it is made clear in the letters that Jabrail himself was not involved in the actual burning down of these mills. It was Jabrail's men that were hired.
Same thing.
So Cat's like neither. Jabril's neutral. He doesn't care as long as he gets paid.
Still responsible.
Well, your question wasn't who's responsible. The question is he good or evil? And I said he's neither. It's whoever pays him the most. Or
Doesn't
whichever is
matter.
most
He
beneficial to
paid
him.
people to go burn down a
Oh,
house.
Gerbil. Gerbil. Okay, it took me a while to remember who he was.
Oh my god, Gerbil.
Yeah, all you guys are talking about Jabrail, and Erzlin just goes, "Oh, Gerbil. Okay."
Dave's
Cat
Dave's
just
fine, by the way.
glares. Cat just looks at Urslan and glares like, really?
It took me a second. I'm sorry. Out of character, it honestly took me a second to remember who the fuck this was.
Honestly, I didn't remember. So out of character, I didn't remember until you said that. So
How can anyone
Because you
forget?
guys are talking about him.
How can
You
anyone
guys are
forget
talking about him.
Dream's
I'm like,
Dream's
this
drug
sounds
dealer?
like Gerbil.
I was cuddling the dog, and the dog. All right, bud.
At this point, someone steps outside the manor actually.
You can have the bed back, buddy.
And he sees you all, and by this point, obviously, Kate has been sort of rummaging through this wagon and figuring out what was on it. Urslan has taken the letters, but he steps outside and says, "What's going on? Are they gone?"
I kind of look around and I go, I think so. For now.
And then he realizes who you all are, and he says, "Ah, yes, you lot, the heroes. Well, I trust that everything's in order here now."
as an order as it can be.
He looks at the contents of the wagon, and he sees those fiends. They tried to take some prized possessions from me and my family. So, thank you. And he quickly tries to start like moving stuff like off the wagon, starting with the tapestries as they are the least cumbersome to move.
So, are you Titus?
He looks at you and says, "Yes, the same."
I'm gonna point to the letters that Urslin's holding and says, "You might want to explain that."
Kate can't help but laugh. Tiny little laugh.
His eyes go wide and he says, "I didn't take you for common thieves, stealing from people like me. Hand those over at once."
Don't you fucking start with me. Ow. What's up with the letters? Mind explaining yourself?
He steps forward slightly and he says, "I don't have to explain anything, but there could be something in it for you if you want."
Is this Titus?
Yep. It is.
I'm gonna ask him to say more words.
Say more words. Oh, actually, wait. Kind of important thing. Would you have brought Chumbo with you?
Yeah.
Oh boy, that changes things. So,
I don't like the way you said that.
so now seeing the giant, the stone giant zombie in the back, he says, "Oh," he gets all like frightened. He's like, "One of them is still here. Quick, kill it."
Nope, he's mine.
"Oh, you're working with them. You're not who I thought you were."
No, not exactly.
He just shakes his head and says, "Well, at any rate, I would be happy to pay you all a handsome sum to make this go away."
No.
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 No. Wait, hold on. Question: is Safa still with me as this is happening?
I didn't copy her token over, but if you want her to be with you, then yeah, she can be.
No, because I don't think this offer would have been made in front of her. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, kind of. Yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, you're the DM. You could tell me if I'm off base.
No,
but I
no,
don't. Yeah.
no, yeah, thinking about it, yeah, it does make sense.
Is this guy like super important? Like in the town?
Yeah, he's the head of one of the founding families of the town, yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. Cat's gonna turn and be like, I finally found family?
I'm gonna
Here.
have
So,
Chumbo
no.
subdue him.
Okay, as Chumbo is walking over there, Titus says, "Well, now let's not be hasty. Of course, it wouldn't simply be to keep this quiet. Of course, you know, you all saved my home. You did a good deed. I just don't think we need to make this any bigger than it needs to be."
So, please give me your best reason as to why I should betray my significant other when we literally just got together.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm in love for once, god damn it! Give me a good reason why I should risk that.
Well,
Money is not good enough right now.
I don't know who this other person is. I don't. You
You-
can't just.
Wait, hold up! I haven't introduced you to. You know the blacksmith?
Oh
He's
yes.
a face palm. so fucking hard and put their hand over a cat's mouth and go, now's not the time to give people information they could use against you.
She could take care of herself. You and I both know that.
I'm gonna bonk you on the top of the head.
I
Oh my
actually I
goodness.
deserve that. Thank you. Sorry. Still in honeymoon phase. Anyway, point being,
It's not
I
honeymoon.
found family here. Why should I betray them?
Not all my hard work. No.
Well, I haven't done anything to Sava.
Well, before anyone says anything else, I'm gonna tell Titus.
Wait, hold up. How'd you know? I didn't finish my description. How'd you know who I was talking about? Because you just asked me 5 minutes ago.
Because one of you literally just said, "Do you know the blacksmith?" That was you, actually. So that's how he made the
There's
connection.
more than one blacksmith in this town. You know that. DM, please tell me I'm correct.
No, you are correct, actually, and actually, Sava herself isn't even a blacksmith, so that's
Yeah,
gonna,
no, I know. I
Yeah,
said that, and as soon as I said that, I'm like, that's wrong in my head.
that's gonna lead him to believe it's somebody else. So let me rewind. Yeah, so now he's like, really? Corvette, that curmudgeon? I didn't think he had time for anybody.
I'm like, what? No. Good thing
I'm gonna start laughing at Cat and go, yeah, of course it's him, right?
Okay, so Dream, what did you want to do?
I just kind of sit there in disbelief, like she's not quite sure how to respond. Because she's like, because if she says yes, then Corbett's at risk. Also, like, that's an insult. But if she says no, so Cat kind of short circuits for a second.
Yeah, understandably so.
Which, once again, kind of out of character for Cat, but this is new territory for her.
I got you.
So
Anyway,
yeah, Dream, what did you want to do?
I think we lost him.
Rob. Okay. So with that, Titus still is a bit confused by what Kat was saying. And he'll just look at everyone and say 3,000 gold pieces. That's my offer.
Kate just looks at him and goes, I don't think you're getting the picture.
Cat is now going. She's having credit because it's like, I could, with the money, we could leave here. But like, I mean, betrayal, but money. But we
Kate
have.
just stepping closer and brandishing their fangs at this point in time and goes, so you'd betray everyone.
Look, I have a lot of. Look, there's no therapist here, and I have a lot of shit to work through. All right, just give me a minute.
Oh, I'm doing that towards him. I'm so glad that you think I'm speaking to you in character, though. Kate just looks over slightly and just kind of like taken it back a little bit, bewildered, and just goes, shakes her head, and just focuses back on who's in front of them and says the same statement again. This time with a stricken heart, just kind of like spooling around their fingers, kind of.
Yeah, because Kat was saying under her breath, like, the debate of money. But betrayal, but money.
Cat's past coming out again. You are a pirate.
You are a pirate. So yeah.
Jake!
Threatening. So should I intimidate you?
Yeah. So,
Tim?
sure, roll
Sorry.
sure, roll intimidate do.
Tim, well, that's
Can I
happening.
stare first?
Sure. I mean, yeah.
I know. I just for once I'm putting that in place ahead of time before I forget.
All right, 15. Does this guy have a stat block? He does. So I can actually see if that's enough to intimidate him. That meets the DC.
Oh my.
So, Tim, actual question. How does he present the bribe? Is there like a satchel of 6,000 gold pieces that he holds in him?
No, he's not currently holding anything. You assume he would have to like go inside and get it.
Okay.
But yeah, he simply is just thrown out a flat offer of 3,000 gold pieces for you guys to just stay quiet about it. And after Cade's display here, yeah, you can see him starting to sweat.
All right, good.
The reality of the situation is setting in.
Kate's just looking at him and goes, "How about this? You're gonna give us each the 3,000 gold, and you're gonna use it as a charitable donation to help repair this town, and you're gonna do your best to help, right?"
So he offered 6,000. So that means that we get that means that the other 3,000 we get, correct? In order to
You are
keep this between
100%
us.
you are 100% rolling bluff because he did not offer 6,000.
Oh, sorry. There we go. So 3,000 for the town and 3,000 for us not to shit your name everywhere.
He Okay, I misinterpreted that. Roll intimidate instead.
Oh, okay.
Okay. He has almost he really doesn't have any words. He's sweating bullets. He's like, eyes are starting to dart around. Like, he knows he certainly can't take all of you. He's even questioning right now if he can even take one of you. He's just
Use wisely, my friend.
He's thinking. And he says 3,000 for the town. 1,500 for you.
Kate gives a thumbs up, like slyly to Cat.
Cat goes, I mean, we also have the dinosaur.
Oh, you gotta bring
shit out of him.
Gotta bring back the original joke of the campaign. Chomper gets a share.
Worth.
And he's like doing the math in his head, and as if he's actually entertaining the fact that the dinosaur does get a share of all the loot that you guys come across. And he's just says 1750.
And
Fine.
we also have the owl.
Kay just looks okay. I'm gonna look over at Kat at this point, and I'm just like staring at her, like with daggers in her eyes, being like, "Are you really?"
Roll diplomacy,
So
Cat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, diplomacy. He turns towards Kat and he says, and what is the owl going to spend the money on? You're lucky I'm even entertaining a freaking dinosaur.
You want me to be honest? Drugs. He's gonna spend the money on drugs.
Oh. So you know Jubrail then.
You do realize I used to smuggle drugs, right? There are more drug suppliers than just Jabril. Also, I could teleport wherever the fuck I want and get my drugs from wherever the fuck I want.
You're very hostile.
And you, I'm sure, also realize that I can bury that 2-bit thug anytime I want.
At this point, Cade
Which
literally
is why
just
I'm saying I can get my drugs from wherever the fuck I want.
Cade's
the owl is
up.
still gonna spend the money on drugs.
I'm obviously we haven't heard from Rob in a minute, but I'm certain that Jareem is thinking like, what the fuck are these guys doing right now? Like messing with my shit.
I'm 90% sure that like even Kat has lost sense of the plot at this point.
Yeah, Dream just
But
like
she expected Chopper to raise the price by 500, and she's too stubborn. Like she's gunning for that 2K. It's like, tell you what, 2,000. We leave all of this behind us and don't say a word. Take it or leave it, otherwise we blast it all over town. And maybe a dino eats you.
roll.
And possibly a spirit owl.
You want to include the cat and the coyote too?
Sure, why not? We've
might as well at this point.
gained quite a bit. We've gained quite a bit of animal followers. Oh, wait, did I introduce you to Chumbo?
You're gonna turn around. Hey Ed, you're sticking around here, right? Like you could just stab this guy, right? No. Yeah,
Oh,
he looks over
by
at
the way, did I introduce you to Chumbo?
he looks over at Chumbo and is just like he's like, yes, he looks friendly.
He can be for 2,000.
Oh my.
Just responding to a whisper, 1 second. Roll diplomacy or intimidate, your choice.
Hold on. Diplomacy is 8. Intimidate is an 11. Let's do intimidate. You know, I could really use some guidance right now.
Well, you're not close enough to me for that.
Yeah, you're not in touch range, and you've already rolled 16. I mean, 16 is still enough. Is his DC, his intimidate DC isn't very high. So he thinks it over, and he just says, "Very well."
I mean, I'm near her, Aaron.
All right, we have a deal.
He says, "I will personally make the donation to the town in my name, and I will give you the 2,000."
pleasure doing business with you, and we hope to see you as continue to be such an upstanding citizen of this town. Smiley face.
He starts to turn around and he just says, "Don't push your luck," and he goes inside. Oh, you touch him. Okay. Okay. You can certainly try. Okay. Let's let's see what happens.
If all right, I guess the curse is gonna be if he tries to betray us or Sandpoint in any form, he's going to take a major hit to his defenses.
That is
Whatever
outside the scope of a bestow curse. That is a quest spell is what that is.
Okay.
I wonder if he doesn't pay us.
A curse is just like an immediate thing.
Oh.
And removing a curse. Let me.
Well, I mean, I can curse him saying the victim can't heal naturally, and magical healing heals the victim by only half the usual amount.
I like that one.
So all I did was put a condition on it.
Yeah. You can certainly do a curse, of that same power level. It's just the addition of like putting a condition on it is what makes it outside of what a
can you curse him
curse
to
can
like?
do.
Can you curse him to have like hideous boils?
Well, I guess I'm just confused that the way I phrased it means that if he doesn't betray Sandpoint, he has no effects from the curse, which in my mind seems less than if he just automatically is cursed with half healing.
So
or like damage. But I believe you, but that was my logic. I was trying to
Maybe you could ask your girlfriend to help you?
Yeah.
Fine.
So like
the victim is plagued by cacophonous sounds and strobing lights that only she can hear or see. She's distracted, +5 to the perception DCs. Cannot take 10 on skill checks and must succeed on a concentration check. DC 10 plus spell level to successfully cast spells. That's the curse I'll decide.
All right, yeah, that's
literally in the alternate curse list. So.
I'll hex them on top of that. Therefore, it's extra.
Okay.
I do not want to be this dude.
So yeah, I'm going to roll a saving throw then, I guess. What's your bestow curse DC?
18, I think.
Okay. Yeah, he failed. He rolled a 10. So yeah, a curse upon him, as you've described. Yeah, so
I'm gonna try to do it stealthily so he doesn't realize like I just cursed him by doing it. I just kind of hope that.
All right, yeah, roll stealth. We could
because like I did touch him, but I've been threatening him, so I kind of want to try to hide the magic essentially.
Yeah, for roleplay purposes, I'll say that you do this like once his back is turned to you, but just before he's out of reach.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought when he was bargaining with Kat. I was walking around to the back of him.
Oh, I picture it as like you accidentally bump into him.
Yeah, kind of thing. And like my hand touching his shoulder, like because I'm essentially tripping over his stuff.
That is a total of 1 on his perception roll.
Okay. Well, there we go.
He has a negative modifier. So, yeah, there you go. So I mean, he knows something is up, but he didn't see you do it specifically.
Okay. And I just kind of like pat him, just being like, "I'm glad we've come to a mutual understanding," and then just looks at everyone and goes, "So shall we continue?"
Well, he hasn't come back with your money yet, but yeah, he.
Well, if he's staying in Sandpoint, my thought is that he's going to pay us, and that if he doesn't, I'm literally just gonna
Yeah, no, he goes inside and he goes and gets the money and comes right back out. He wants to just be like done with you, so he just
Okay.
you wait outside for like 2 minutes and then he comes back with like a sack of coins and kind of just like tosses it to you and just like gives you that kind of like see yourselves out kind of look.
All right. I'm gonna catch that bag of coins and smirk and see myself out with everyone else.
All right.
Yep.
2,000 coins richer. Okay. What next?
I feel like Jabril needs to be paid a visit because he was also in on this.
All right. Sure.
Kat's also going to be very giddy about
Not
the
just
fact
me
that she
saying
got
that. I don't
paid
know if I'm
and
not sure if
didn't
the
betray the
others want
town.
to.
It's a
'Cause something tells
win-win.
me Dream's gonna be very against it.
Well, if we knew what Rob wanted to do, we could figure that out. But
Where is he?
I don't know. He's
We don't know.
He's still on the call. He's not muted or anything.
Yeah, but I don't want to like confront Jabril, possibly killing him just for Dream to come back and say, "Hey, your drug dealer's dead."
So how about this? How about we go
I
back
mean,
to
I
the
would
tavern?
love to do that.
I mean,
How about we
the
go
the
back to
other
the tavern?
the other option. Well, there's that, and the other option is you guys can
The
let
men
that,
are.
you guys can let that simmer for a few days while you're waiting for your stuff to be done at the Feathered Serpent.
Is
But
my
Oh, that's
scope
true.
ready?
well, I was actually the next thing I was going to say would be that it would give Ursulin time to finish her sight for her gun. Um,
And Kat can also teleport to the cute little village with the brandy wine, the blackberry wine. Was it blackberry or blueberry or what was it again?
Blackberry.
It was blackberry with the blackberry wine.
Cat is drunk and doesn't
I
remember.
see it.
Kat isn't. No, Kat isn't drunk. Kim is just forgetful and in pain.
I try to give
Why
more
is
credit
Kim
than
in
that
pain?
to out of game things. Yeah, why are you in pain?
Oh, I wish I did. My back is just super sore.
Oh,
There's so much blood.
That's what
No.
she said.
ooh. All right, so I'm
I'll
moving.
give you $5 if you can guess what game I'm playing while I wait for combat.
Well, you were playing Fall Guys, so
No, I'm not playing that anymore.
Animal
That
Crossing?
requires too much attention. This game, I could just leave myself standing in a corner and hope that I don't get attacked.
Not Animal Crossing.
hope that you don't get attacked.
Not Animal Crossing.
Well, like I don't know, Monster Hunter, maybe. I don't know.
No, you got the M.
Minecraft. I told you that earlier.
Meldon Min.
Minecraft.
I don't
I'm
know.
playing
Oh,
Minecraft.
Minecraft. Okay.
I said that. I said that in Facebook earlier when you're like, "Ooh, that's an Enderman."
Cade wins the
I was
jackpot.
like, I said, oh, an Ender. I didn't kill it, but
I
it's
saw
there.
this-
DM, what's her prize?
What's your prize? Well, I mean, the prize is already stated to be $5, but I just wanted to, since Minecraft was brought up, I just wanted to talk about something really funny that I saw real quick. So I saw this post where apparently this like 15-year-old kid like won a Smash Bros tournament using Steve from Minecraft.
I'm so glad.
And like apparently other like Smash Bros like professionals are like yelling about how like Steve should be banned or something like that. And someone commented on the post.
Why?
I don't know. I don't keep up with Smash. I have no idea. But someone commented on the post that was like, interesting reaction from the Smash community when a child fights back. I was like shook when I read that.
They're like, how do I even respond? Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
Not simply respond.
For the moment
You
I moved.
okay?
There's just a blank space there.
All right. Anyway.
And for the moment I've moved you guys back to the tavern. I figure since Rob is not currently actually present, we can do other things, and then maybe circle back to the Jabrail thing.
Dream is in the middle of a mindfulness session, a meditation session rather.
You mean drugs?
I mean, yes.
Did he say he was going somewhere?
No, like
I'm gonna say
the
right
last thing,
now, like
the
I
last
just messaged you guys.
Would you like me to message my sister and see what's going on?
no, I mean, it's
That-
if Allie knows what's going on and it's something that we shouldn't bother with, then just
That's what I'm saying. Like, can we just?
yeah, we can just leave it. It's fine.
Oh, okay. I
yeah,
didn't know. I wasn't. I don't pay
No,
attention
no,
to Rob.
yeah. Well, I'm trying to. I've been trying to say it a few times. He's gonna be back on momentarily. Oh, I
Okay.
just dropped my ice cream.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
what's up?
no,
How's the ice cream?
I just felt bad because like he clearly like wanted
No,
to
I
do
know.
something, and I tried to get to him, and then by the time I did, I don't know, whatever he's doing, wasn't there. But yeah, so for the time being, we will say that you guys went back to the tavern. Ursulin has immediately gone back to work on the scope that she was working on for her rifle. She would recruit the aid of Cat. Yeah, because Dream would have already done some of the work to help create it, and then Cat would need to just cast the spell.
Yes. I thought I did that already.
Oh wait, yeah, no, you did. All right, yeah. So it'd be the other way around then. It would be
how much longer?
It would be yeah, it would be Dream then to sort of like finish the construction of the item itself around the magic. I would say it would probably take like the rest of the day, but it would be done at the end of the day.
Okay.
So yeah, you know by the end of the day you have a far-reaching sight that you can then attach to your gun. I'm gonna go ahead and add that, and if there's any other business you guys want to take care of, then we can run it.
Nothing.
Anything you
Kat's
need?
gonna go to Safa and proudly say how she, managed to intimidate money and also not betray the town and be very proud of this.
And I'm gonna go tell certain people in the town about his betrayal because I don't give a fuck that we said anything about helping him because I actually distinctly agreed not to. So all I did was agree to get paid
I'm just gonna
to let
advise
him live.
A to say, make sure to tell them only to arrest him once they get his quote-unquote donation.
Yes.
Yeah, so
that's kind of my
when
point.
when you
Paid's
say
gonna warn-
when you say certain people, name names here. Who are you?
Mayor,
telling?
sheriff, fathers, Antis.
Okay, so all the people that would care about it. Got it.
Yeah.
I mean, not that like some of the other townsfolk like Hannah or whatever wouldn't care, but the people with the power to do something about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I'm warning them about the deal we made, but also telling them flat out that he's a fucking traitor and do what they will with that information once they get the funds.
Okay,
So please emphasize that the deal that we need was for like preventing him from going after somebody else, using somebody else, and not like because we're terrible people.
Okay, so Cade.
Oh yeah, I mean, if they're telling, then it's very clear that we just deceived.
Cade goes off to do that. As one important bit of information that I need is I would imagine that you are getting the letters from Ursulin before you go do this, so that you have evidence to present, right? Or no?
Okay.
Cade?
They died.
Bueller? Oh no.
Dream got her too.
I'm here. Everyone went robot.
Oh no. One more.
You just went
Not
silent.
robot anymore. Everyone's good now.
All right, cool.
But
Cool. So, all right, yeah. So just to repeat myself, would you have taken the letters from Ursulin before you run out, just like
yes.
as evidence? Yeah, I assumed you would.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to. I didn't want
Yeah, I would give myself proof. That would make the most sense.
All right,
You assume, but you didn't want to make the decision for her.
I
so
appreciated it.
Let's just. Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to make the decision for you because I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, you do that, and you say no, I didn't do that. So yeah, let's run that then. So let's see. Your token is already at the garrison, so I'm just gonna move you there personally. All right, so you're there. It is obviously the mayor wouldn't be there. It is later in the day now. But Sheriff Hemlock is kind of just making his rounds at the garrison. He's still helping some of the other workers there to patch things up. He is doing his usual rounds on any prisoners that they're holding there currently. But a minute or so after you arrive and walk in, he makes himself visible and comes right up to you. And he first off he just places a hand on your shoulder and says, we the town, we can't thank you and your friends enough for what you've done today."
Kid just looks at him kind of sadly and remorsefully and goes, "It won't be enough. They're coming back. And not only that, we have traitors within our midst."
Both of
And
those
then I go in.
are rather troubling.
Not me. I'm not a
What
traitor.
are the I don't know if we can withstand another attack like that. What are the
Okay, dude.
what are the prospects on potentially taking the fight to them?
We know where most of the stone giants are gathering and who their leaders are. We deterred one of them and made them turn back the last time. So, they left behind one of their soldiers because I might have partially turned them against them momentarily. Cade says, scratching their head slightly, and goes, and he gleaned a lot of information for us. So we're going to most likely stop them where they're conglomerating. And, well, someone else is working with the stone giants. It's not just them. And we also have a traitor who's in Cage, just kind of just jazz hands as they say it. Tiberius fucker is gonna give you a nice donation to either
Titus.
you, the mayor. Yes, I sorry.
I was like,
I said
Tiberius. I'm like, oh man, it's that weirdo Orion's Critical Role character. He showed up here.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I was like, my cousin's cat.
A dragonborn sorcerer suddenly appears now.
My
Dragonborn.
brain just literally took D&D character and then went poof, and I was like, that's not.
Sheriff Hemlock turns to his left. Dragonborn don't exist in Galarian, and immediately gets blown up. No. Anyway, yeah. So he doesn't immediately like jump on this like sort of accusation you're bringing, but he is certainly intrigued, and he says, well, that's troubling news. If I may ask, what evidence do you have?
And I'm gonna say, I'm gonna look at making it clear that I'm not letting go of them, but making it so he can easily read them, and just kind of like going through all the letters with him, reading them out loud, but also allowing him to see the text on the page. Only loud enough really for him to hear it in a private conversation. It's not like I'm belting it out so the workers nearby will also hear it.
Okay. So you go through each page. You allow the sheriff to read the letters as you just hold them out in front of him because you said you're not letting go of them. When he's all done, he stays silent for a good few moments. Kind of just. I mean, it's hard to tell. It looks like he's just processing, but yeah. So he kind of stands there with this expression that he is deep in thought or potentially.
Am I suspicious of him?
What's that?
Am I suspicious of him?
Roll sense motive. Okay. you get the idea that he is less surprised by this information than you think he probably should be. Um,
He had an inclination.
he reads right now like someone who obviously is very interested and immediately invested in this situation now, but uh he kind of appears like someone who is trying to come up with a way to handle this without kind of like overplaying this evidence, if that makes sense. Like he basically to boil it down, like the gears are turning in his head, and
I get it.
he seems like he wants to bring about the best outcome here. When it looks like he's done kind of coming up with whatever he wants to do, he looks at you with a pretty serious expression, and he says, "This is enough evidence to put him away in Magnamar for a long time."
Kate says, and that's promptly why I'm not letting go of it.
He says, we need to be certain about this. Don't
He
get.
just offered to pay us instead to betray everyone. Do you want me to show you the coin we got?
That's not necessary. I believe you. I just
Let's put it
you
this
of
way.
course know the trouble that Jabrail and his men also cause around here.
They've caused much less trouble in recent months, have they not?
I would agree with that. Sure. Um, the rampant run of petty crimes that those fools commit on a fairly regular basis, it has slowed down in the last couple of months. You're right, and it's been very nice to see. It's it almost seemed like Jabrail had been turning over a new leaf, but I will say, of course, at least he still retained the good sense to know when he has the upper hand.
Kay just kind of nods and says, I still haven't gone and investigated him yet myself, I'll be honest. And I am hoping for the best. But at the same time, I know Tiberius is flat out traitor and
Titus,
not to leave Titus. God damn it, I'm gonna keep saying it now. Now it's in my head. Now we made a whole joke about it, my brain just went Tiberius Stormwind. I'm so glad. Thank you. I'm sorry. Titus is gonna betray us. So okay, I lost track. Titus is going to betray us. Stone giants are going to come back. The dragon isn't dead, and you're worried about petty crime possibly increasing. Just want to be on the same page.
No, I'm. That's no. Don't get me wrong. That's not my main concern here. It's simply hard to. Obviously, these letters are the letters. You know, they're written. It's pretty clear evidence that he hired Jabrail and his men to do these horrible arsons.
He just took advantage of people who needed the time and the funds. So why was he doing this is more important. And I want to find out if we can get more information from Jabrail without causing him too much harm or giving him too much information that we know.
I think
He's been a good ally to me, my friends, and I would like to keep it that way if possible. Kay just says, "Matt."
Yes, I think that in this situation, as much as it disturbs me to say that we would have to offer Jabrail something to get him in on this, and or maybe not. You know, we don't know. And if you don't mind me asking, how did you come across this evidence?
Him. We were investigating essentially around Sandpoint after the attack, just to see if anyone needed assistance, aid, what buildings were damaged, what was taken, and in the process of that search, that's how we found them. And then the man who wrote them, or one of them, offered us money to, well, overall betray Sandpoint instead and help him with what these letters state. And of course, my friends may have convinced him for multiple payments for his life, essentially, and now I'm here, and I still need to find the mayor, and I still need to find Father Santos, and I still need to stop everyone from killing Terrell.
Okay, well, we're not going to bring any violence against Jabrail.
Kate kind of just does one of those little nervous laughters and goes, "Oh, I'm not worried about you guys."
We can figure out a way to remedy the situation that his men caused by agreeing to these deals. But my main concern is obviously with the big fish here. So I'll tell you what. I will drop by the Rusty Dragon in the morning. I will do my best to bring the mayor and Father Xantus with me, and we'll hash this out one way or another. And I believe that thanks to your findings that the best outcome for justice will prevail here. You've done the right thing once again. Just as you have anytime I've had a run in with you, you've done the right thing.
Kate's just gonna very bluntly look at the man and say, "Thank you, but I'm gonna warn you right now that if that man does one false move, I will kill Titus and feel no remorse. This town is our home, and I'm going to defend it until my last breath."
Duly noted.
And Kate just kind of clasps his hand and says, "I appreciate your what is it? Cooperation and discretion. Haha, that's the word, discretion, about this matter." And then says, "I'm going to go find Father Xantus and the mayor."
Okay, great. I'll see you tomorrow.
Awesome.
All right, Rob, to get you caught up here, at the manor, you guys were searching through the items that were on the wagon. Inside the desk that was there, Urslan found a secret compartment containing letters, an exchange between Titus Scarnetti and Jabrail, where Titus was hiring Jabrail and his men to burn down other mills in the area, mostly because he himself owns a mill and was trying to position his as the only option, more or less. You guys managed to intimidate him into making a large donation to the repair efforts of the town after the siege, as well as a little side bag of coins for all of you guys, in exchange for keeping quiet. Cade doesn't give a fuck about that and has gone to the police. And now you're caught up.
By the way, unrelated, but now all I could think, for some reason, when we're talking about Titus, all I could think of is Titus Burgess. So Titus to me is now an effeminate gay black man.
So much better.
Like if you've ever seen the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, that Titus.
Okay.
one of these days, you guys will finally bring RuPaul Scarnetti to justice.
But yes, Titus is now a very effeminate gay black man to me, and you cannot change my mind.
That is totally fine. I have no objections to that. All
Sorry,
right, so
Titus Fergus. Take this as a compliment.
nearby at the town hall, things are kind of winding down over there. It's really just across the way. There's no this map for some reason doesn't have any like interior for that building, but it's all right. You go inside. You request to see the mayor. She's currently not busy, so you make your way up to her office, where she sits at her desk, and just like Sheriff Hemlock, she looks at you and thanks you profusely for all of your help today, driving away the threats and helping to repair things as much as you reasonably could in such a short amount of time. And she, after she's done with all of that, she says, well, all that being said, I didn't expect a visit from you or really any of your friends so soon. What's going on? Did we lose you again?
Rob?
Allie?
Oh, Allie.
Oh,
Sorry.
I was literally drinking my water. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no. Listen, stay hydrated.
Doing,
That's
like,
important.
chugging. Were you chugging and like not coming up for air because you were just so dehydrated?
There might be half of a 33 smart ounce water bottle that may or may not agree with that statement missing.
I'm
Okay.
chugging.
Not breathing, just chugging. Just hydrating. Hydrate or dihydrate.
Yeah,
That's right.
honestly, I totally tuned out because I just realized how thirsty I was, and I just downed half a 33-ounce water bottle. So yeah, what were you saying? I apologize.
I basically just went through the whole like song and dance greeting of the mayor, basically being the same as the sheriff, and she says, I didn't expect a visit from any of you so soon. What's going on?
Okay, I did hear that last part. Okay, cool. So Kay's just gonna look at the mayor and goes, so I made a promise. I'm breaking that promise, but I never made the promise and with the intent to keep. We have a traitor in our midst. 1, 2, we got stone giants coming back. Not right this second, but they have not seen the last of them. 3, the dragon is not dead. Also possibly might come back. We know where the stone giants might be. And the traitor is Titus. And then I just kind of like flay out the
Yeah.
letters out.
Mayor Devon has a slightly different reaction to the letters than the sheriff. She looks them over quickly and says, Scarnettis are at it again. Well, at least this time we have some actual evidence.
Alright. Tim, Allie, I'm sorry, I just realized something. Does Kat know that Cade is running around?
Telling?
Yeah.
I mean, probably. Like, Cade.
I know.
If she does, her response is gonna be, "Okay, cool, I don't care. Go ahead." I expected this to happen anyway.
I'm glad that you offered that input.
Sorry, no, I just realized that, like, because I just realized that Kat negotiated, like, "Hey, we're not gonna tell anybody." It's like, would Cade be like, "So I'm gonna go tell everybody"?
Wink, wink. Yeah.
Cade said Cade didn't make any part of that deal. Cade was just like,
Kat's like, I just wanted the money. That's fine.
That's true. Yeah, Kat just fleeced the shit out of him while Cade is just double crossing. So yeah.
Cade's learned from all the double crossed assholes that we've had to fight that double crossing has its uses. So I'm gonna do it.
And Kat's like, hey Kay, I got paid already, so go for it.
See, got permission and everything. So yeah.
So
Kate's speed running it and kind of trying to direct away from Jabrail to like being like, I still need to speak with him. Just like I spoke with you. I spoke with the sheriff. Still haven't spoken with Father Xanthus. Cade's like going a mile a minute because there's something in the back of Cade's head that is stressed about telling the sheriff and the sheriff's reaction, but they can't put their finger on it.
By the way, out of character, the way that you should be selling not killing Jabril is we can't kill Jabril. Jabril provides the drugs. Drugs make Happy Jareem. Happy Jareem makes sure we don't die. We need to keep Jareem happy.
Happy dream means lots of chumbos.
That's true.
So
Right.
the mayor says, listen, between you and me, I've always known that there's been funny business going on with that family. And also between you and me, I don't care all that much about what Jabrail's doing compared to this. No, on any other day, I would say, yeah, let's bring Jabrail in. But this is much bigger than him. And I imagine you've already spoken with the sheriff.
He was the first I informed when I couldn't find you right away.
Okay, good. I'm glad you went to him first. He has a bit better sense for keeping things on the level in situations like this than I do.
Cade just looks at the mayor and says, obviously, as I told the sheriff, we're going to keep this close to the chest and not tell many people. Because as I said, the only reason I have this information is because I made it an exact deal to not give it away.
Right. Do you plan?
Cade just kind of looks at the mayor and nods in appreciation.
If you plan to involve Jabril in any of this now, well, I mean, he already is involved, but if you plan to get in touch with him yourself about this, what do you want to do?
Cade says, of course, and then says, I should probably also inform Father Xanthus.
Right, but what do you want to do with Jabril? Like how do you want to? She's asking you
Well,
how
I
you
wanna-
plan to approach that.
So, well, I guess my point was that I was starting with being like, first I'm going to approach Father Xanthus because he's also good with everyone of the populace, regardless of what side of the law they're on. So I can possibly find a place to stash Jabril if I need to. And then I'm gonna just go to Jabril matter of factly and bring Dream with me, I guess, and go, look, it's beneficial to us both to be on the same side. And I know that you first and foremost deal in information, and you're not necessarily a bad individual. So I'm coming here in goodwill and seeing what he says to that.
Well, as far as Jabrail's concerned, I mean, you may already know this, but he's never really turned down a chance to cooperate with anyone as long as it benefits him, and I would think he would see that it's to his benefit to cooperate if we ask him to. So I'm not too worried about
Kate agrees.
him potentially betraying us now. You know, it would seem that some of your friends have dealt with him before anyway. So I don't think he would want to lose business, so to speak. But this is good. I'm glad you brought this to our attention. Now about the giants. You say they may come back here.
They pretty much promised that they would. There's things here that they want.
They would certainly bring greater numbers, I'm sure.
They've managed to amass most of the Stone Giant tribes together in one place, actually, which is a terrifying thought.
Well,
so if you have any chance, we should go strike them at their heart before they manage to come back at us. And I don't think I should bring any of the town guards or anyone like that with us. I think you're all best off just taking the time to fortify defenses here as best you can.
I agree. I don't think I'd be the first to tell you, but
Get out of here.
judging
Don't
by
look
what
up
happened here
above.
today, I I certainly hope they don't come back here. I think it's smart to bring the aggression to them before they can muster another assault. And as always, I wish you and your friends the best of luck.
I shake her hand and then tell her the same.
Great. If you don't mind, if you if you also intend to bring your friends around, I would like to speak with you all again before you head out.
Cade agrees and says, "Of course, I can do that." I think. I'm quickly adding.
Great. I'll go talk to the sheriff about this information, and we'll be in touch. You know where to find me.
Cade just says thank you and heads on out.
Okay. So then, yeah, you head over to the cathedral. Father Xantis is there. He is he has basically opened the doors of the cathedral to allow anyone who is dealing with injuries to basically come by the cathedral, and he'll do his best to heal as many as he can, while some of the other clergymen are performing the repairs to the building. There is a bit of a wait to see Father Xantis. There are a few sort of injured citizens that are just waiting patiently. Some of them in worse shape than others, but nothing too dire. Some time passes, the line moves, and after maybe 20 minutes or so, you're able to enter the temple dedicated to Desna and see Father Xantis. He looks at you and he smiles, and he says, well, you don't look hurt, but admittedly I've exhausted most of my magic for the day. Still, it's great to see you. Thank you again for all that you and your friends have done. What brings you back here?
Cade just says, "I'm glad to see you unharmed, too, Father," and says, "I have news that must be cut close to the chest. Only you, my group of friends, and the sheriff and mayor know about this. But the stone giants' attack is not over. They're gathering all the tribes together to pretty much surmount an even stronger attack against Sandpoint. And not only that, we have traitors within our midst. Titus has been conspiring against the town. And I have proof of the matter. I'm going to show Father Xantis the others as well."
Well, this is extremely troubling to have just fended off an assault on our home, and to hear of both another one in the works, and to have this news now brought forward. This is what a day. Well,
And Cade just kind of looks at him and says, I want you to be safe. And I want you to help me give Jabril a place to stay if he needs it to be safe. If they find out, well, if Titus has find out I've done this, the exact thing I promised not to do. I don't want Jabril, who seems to be a good person overall in this situation, to be caught up in or used against us.
well, although Jabrail has had numerous indiscretions in the time that I've known him, would never close my door to him. There are a lot of people in this town that like him, and his business provides many of our own with good times and merriment. And although that some of his other activities may not be good natured, I still believe that just about anyone can be saved. So, of course, I will harbor him if need be.
Cade breathes a small sigh of relief and just says, "Thank you, Father." And I say, "I know you have exhausted your magic, but whatever you and your other members of the church can do to help prepare for what's to come, I say do your best." I told the sheriff to train up as many town guards as possible, ask civilians to help shore up defenses, help set up water ways for us to be able to access it if needed for various purposes, and well, food stores as best as we can. And if the unthinkable happens, we might all need to figure out a way out of here. Moving an entire populace from the town would not be easier, and I really hope that doesn't come to this.
Yes, that is all very troubling, but it's great to know that you've thought of all of these contingencies. How much time do you think we have?
Cade just kind of looks and says, "The information was relayed from a stone giant that was left behind, so we must take it with a grain of salt, but probably a week or two time at most. It seems like they're not going to let us just prepare. They didn't even expect us to withstand the first assault. Now they were aware we have some type of strength. They're not going to make the same mistakes again."
Yes, I think you're right. Well, it doesn't give us much time. I think I may
Cade,
have to petition the mayor to seek aid from Magnamar, perhaps. They have far more resources than we do.
Tim, you keep going in and out for me. Is that happening for anyone else?
It's happening.
not really.
I've had issues earlier on, and I've just dropped from the call and rejoined, and
And it's all from you.
that's been fixing it for the most part. So maybe try that. Um, sorry, was anybody else having that issue that they can't really hear me, or
Good.
okay?
Let's see if that works.
All right, cool. I just didn't know if anybody else was having the problem. Okay, so yeah, like I said, Father Xanthus thinks that maybe he can convince the mayor to reach out to Magnamar. You get the sense that he doesn't believe that everything that you've suggested can be done in that short amount of time, but you know, stranger things have happened. The people of Sandpoint are resilient.
Cade, of course, acknowledges that, but just says that this is the best contingency plan they could come up with in a short time.
Right. Well, if I'm being honest, I don't think I have a better plan than you do. So I will see. Well, as soon as the other brothers are finished with the repairs to the cathedral, I will see to it at once that they get to work on making this a more defensible place.
Cade is just happy that someone's agreeing with them. And says, "Whatever we can do, we shall do." I know that the theater, the church, and a few other places were the main targets. And they were looking for specific artifacts. So maybe we shore up the defenses specifically in those areas.
think that would be best. Well, I appreciate you coming by. Did you happen to notice if there was anyone else waiting for treatment?
Cade says, did I actually notice anything? I got so caught up in all the rest of the conversation, I don't remember.
I don't think I actually said. Now that I think about it,
Okay, so then I guess
yeah. I mean, I guess in the time you're waiting, as well as having this conversation,
other priests would help.
other priests would help, or yeah. I mean, we'll say that when you came in, there wasn't anybody waiting.
Okay, then I'm going to tell Father Santos that, as far as I know, I think everyone that has been helped, that needed or immediate help has been.
He
And-
nods, and he says, "That's wonderful. I'm glad."
And then I look at him and I say, although I do need to go grab Dream and see if we can convince Jabrail to tell us more about what's going on.
Certainly, I'll leave you to that. May he does a smile upon you.
And you? Cade like clasps their forearm like in a handshake and kind of pulls them in for a hug, just being very glad that they're still alive because he's been one of the few people that have been kind to Cade their whole life. And heads out the door with purpose.
All right. So back to the Rusty Dragon. Mako is behind the bar. Sava, I guess, probably wouldn't be there anymore.
Did anyone tell Mako and Bathana about what happened, or are we keeping them in the dark?
Well, I'll let the rest of you decide that, since you've been here. Would any of you have told Mako and Bathana what's going on?
I want to mention that it is probably gonna perish.
That's it. That's all you. It's like, yeah, Titus is probably gonna die. Like, that's it.
Pretty much.
No context, like not like was he
And
injured
as well
in the
as we got more giants. We got more giants being held up somewhere else, but we're gonna kill them all. It's gonna be easy.
Yeah, this
Mark my word.
this is definitely like the Dino way of going about it. It's just like, yeah, this is happening. We're gonna do this.
I mean, that was my plan at first. Was
There
to
is
kidnap.
nothing to worry about.
Oh, that's what you wanted to do? You wanted to kidnap somebody?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I
Okay.
mean, we have a giant.
Kidnapping now, sorry.
Might as well kidnap him.
Wait, we're gonna kidnap Titus, but we took care of that a different way, apparently.
Dream going with the "we have a Hulk" defense.
Yeah.
To his plan.
So Cat turns to him and goes, "That's exactly how I got money from him." Twice.
I was just gonna bring him to Jabrail.
Oh, yeah, that'll work.
Dream and goes, well, speaking of which, if you want, we can do that right now because I've spoken with the people we agreed, or I said I would just go to speak to. I don't know if I told any of you. I told all them guys. I want to be clear about that. Father Xantis, the sheriff, and the mayor all know. And Dream, you want to come visit Jabril with me? Because I would love an explanation from him, and I feel like he's gonna be more amicable with you around.
Sure.
Stop. No. Wait. Don't go.
Okay. So over to the Fat Man's feed bag then with the two of you. Everyone else is treated to a steak dinner from Mako.
Steak. What type of steak?
It's
steak.
It's a nice steak. It's like a rib steak.
Just
As long
a
as it's
giant
not
piece of
flank, I'm
whiskey.
happy.
Yeah, no, it's not flank. Mako doesn't mess with the stuff that's not that good. She serves only the best. So,
I'm thinking Flintstone steak.
oh, like a Bronto burger, just a
Yeah, exactly. Is
big
what I'm
ass.
thinking.
Yeah.
Like, a maker just cooked one of those giant hunks of meat as one thing and just like slicing off hunks for everyone. Just being like, here's one giant steak.
Over at the feed bag. So it's a bit too early for the feedbag's usual clientele to have populated the place. Jabrail is kind of getting things set up for the night. Um, he sees obviously Dream walk in. You know, Dream's basically his favorite customer at this point. He's all smiles. And then he sees Cade walk in, and you know, not much of a change in his expression, but he is a bit more business like. He kind of snaps into that sort of appearance, given that it's not simply Dream walking in. Um, and he says, "Oh well, Dream, it's not too often that you bring friends around. What's the meaning of this?"
We can bring you Titus.
Kay just kind of thumbs at what Dream and goes, yeah, what he said. Also, why the fuck are you working with Titus?
His eyes narrow, and he he looks at Dream, and with like a definite like caution in his voice, he says, "How do you two know about this?"
It's me. How do I not know about shit that goes on here at this point? And then I look at him and I throw one of the letters at him.
I was gonna say, Cat just looks at him and goes, you know, if you're going to do things like this, don't make it in writing.
Hmm. You guys are a bit more opportunistic than I thought.
What did I tell you when I first met you? I used to be a pirate and a smuggler. What?
You're not there.
I'm sorry, I thought I said I was there.
Okay, well, fine. You can be there.
I'm sorry, I thought I said I went with them when I.
Yeah, no, that's my mistake. Then I must have missed it. So
I think I probably said it because I was doing, oh wait, no, don't go. And in my head, I'm like, but I'm coming with you.
a wild cat appears as she uses her first ever teleport. No, I'm kidding.
No, Cat's like, you know, what did I tell you when I first met you? I used to be a pirate and a smuggler.
You
Bro.
were a pirate.
We're a pirate. So Kate's also gonna look at Jarrell and just say, look, I know you're inherently not a bad guy. Does not mean that you're a bad guy. But you need to
cringe. No, I'm kidding.
but you need to be honest with us because I know at your heart you're not here to destroy Sandpoint, so some good deal might have come your way. And, well, let's put it bluntly in a term that I know you'd like to understand. If you go back on your deal with Titus, I'll make it worth your while. I already convinced the sheriff to leave you alone, if that's a measure of good faith.
Well, it is, but if you've read the letters, then you know that I'm already blackmailing him.
You're blackmailing him, but you told them no one, and this stuff has still been going on. So as far as anyone else is concerned, you're still part of this crime, which is what I'm trying to divert their interest from.
Well, sure, but you know, my men don't have to do his bidding, and he's still paying me.
True, and what I'm saying is, aren't you also still getting information? He doesn't know that I've betrayed him. He doesn't need to know that we've been in communication, and don't you think we could benefit from the information that's being gleaned from what you're doing? Especially with a second invasion of giants now.
Well, certainly, and of course, the gravity of the attack on the town isn't lost on me, but you know, you have the information in front of you, and you've basically just said it yourself. I'm not doing anything for this man except, continuing to betray him by blackmailing him. I am still getting money from him. He
But now he knows we know what's going on, and don't you think that's going to back him into a corner? What's stopping him from cutting loose ends? You are a loose end, sir.
He tried to hire us.
Literally. And then K just jingles the coin pocket at him and just goes, he actually already paid us. He's just an idiot.
Well, surely that was just hush money, right?
That's not what it sounded like.
The original offer? No. Turned into hush money when I said I would just kill him where he stands here now.
I mean,
Well,
you trying to kill him
indirectly.
turned it into donation money. I turned it into hush money.
Well,
Cade shrugs.
you say you have an offer for me, so what is it?
Help us unravel what's going on further and who's behind helping Titus.
Or we
And
take Jareem's business elsewhere.
no, not even that. Dream can do his own business. All the trinkets and things that we continue to find you. Let's put it this way. I'll just start handing over 50% of my cut. No price included. No purchase necessary on your end. Just dropped off for whatever means you need.
Cat's gonna pull back on Key and be like, "You sure you want to do that?"
Cage just looks at the cat and goes, "Yeah, my half. Do you just compare to how much everyone picks up? Yeah, easily. Not a problem to me. Also, live in this town. Want to be on a good end bargain with this guy."
Okay.
Worst comes to
You're a
worst,
big girl.
we
You
can
can do what you like.
Cage just kind of looks flat at Cat and says, "Between Jabrail, me, and Jareem, we could literally drug the entire town's water into getting them to leave the fucking town if we need to. I would like to keep that resource in the back pocket if necessary. I know that sounds kind of evil, but I'd rather everyone be drugged to leave than die to a dragon and stone giant attack again."
That
Not
is
a bad
fair.
idea.
Wait, by the way, are Cat and so I know Cat started this conversation in hushed tones. Is Cade continuing this in hushed tones, or is she
No,
just like
Cade is
shouting?
getting more
Well,
animated, making the point that they want Jabrail alive and happy, and Cade wants Cade alive and happy, and Sandpoint alive.
So as I described when you guys got here, the place is practically empty. There's no like their rush like this is just a tavern. It's not like a
No, I get that. I mean from Jabril. Like Cat kind of pulls Cade aside, like if Cade continues to give a little speech to Cat in that hushed tone away from Jabril, or if she is like shouting it.
I am belting it, motherfucker. It's coming right out my face.
Alright.
Jabrail
Thank you for putting up with me.
Jabrail looks like he's considering his options. He continues to shoot glances at Dream, kind of wondering like what his role was in bringing this to his door. But after a few moments of self deliberation, he looks up at Cade and says, "Yeah, all right. What do you want to know?"
Everything. Why you're blackmailing him, when you started it, if you know of any of his contacts, what the larger plan is, what we're missing from just these letters, because obviously you're not dumb and you're not going to include everything in this paper, and neither is he. So, well, start where you see fit, Kate says with a little grin.
Jabrail, kind of cocks his head to the side a little bit, and he says, "Well, I mean, I hate to disappoint you, but it's not that much deeper than what's in the letters. Titus wanted the competition gone. He saw an opportunity in hiring me and my men to carry that out for him. he offered a fair sum of money at the time. We
Kid just nods along, listening.
we did the deeds, and when the money came, it wasn't what we agreed to.
I'm going to interrupt you, Jabril, and just explain to you the situation that you're in. This guy is of a powerful family, and you're blackmailing him. He already tried to hire us to get rid of you. What makes you think he's not going to try and hire bigger, stronger warriors to get rid of you? We shouldn't even be offering you a deal right now. You should be offering us money for protection.
He turns to you and he says, "Do you not think I know who I'm dealing with?"
I don't think you know the gravity of this situation.
I would say I have just as many men as he does, if not more. If I didn't, then why would he need me in the first place?
Well, how much money do you have?
I've got enough.
Enough to take on his family?
Cat laughs in character, by the way.
Well, let me ask you this: who else knows?
Cade,
Yeah.
who else did you tell?
Cade just goes, our entire group, the sheriff, the mayor, Father Xantis, and you.
Oh, and I told Sava.
Cade face palms and goes, and apparently she told Sava.
Okay. Well, if you've already dealt with the authorities, my next question is, what did they say about my involvement?
You're a dumbass for doing it, and they've agreed by me to leave you out of it if you help prevent Titus's plans, and also help prevent the stone giant attack, or at least help with defenses for it.
Seems fair to me.
I thought so.
If the town goes up in flames, so does my business. So I certainly don't want that to happen.
Kate just kind of looks at Jareem and Jabril and just goes, that's kind of what I thought. We might all have varying different degrees of what is considered lawful and good, but we all do reside here at the end of the day, and I think we would all like to keep our businesses, homes, and families and friends intact. So as long as we can be amicable and all on the same page, I think we've come to an agreement. And I just kind of like nudged Dream like as a thanks for the muscle and point actually.
And also, I'd like to buy some drugs.
Of course you do. I was about to break into some like more role play, and then you just throw that at me. Yeah, Jabril.
That's just like
icebreaker.
Jabril looks at Cade and says, "Well, yeah, as you know, I'm already blackmailing the guy. I don't like him. I don't like him. Don't care about him. I'd love to see him fry."
Cade grins at this and goes, you have no idea how much effort I had to exude not to kill him just before.
And then the next thing Jabril does is he reaches down and he picks up a box and he says, "Now, to some other business."
Yeah, but sorry, before that happens, Cat turns to Kane like, exactly. Why kill somebody when you can extort them?
Cade goes, look, I'm learning.
Yay! Anyway, about those drugs.
Yeah, Jabril, he has most of the same stock from the last time Dream purchased. So he has, let's see, he has everything that Dream bought last time except for he's out of Eye King's Tears and he's out of the Deluge, but he has two new things. The first one is this one's interesting. Okay. So the first one is he pulls out these small vials with a substance inside that it bears a resemblance to, like, I'd say the closest thing is probably honey. Um, he kind of tosses one towards Dream and says, "This little number is called Drake Root. Real, real interesting. I've heard some different opinions on this one, but I think this would be up your alley."
What's it do?
So yeah, game terms. When you drink the nectar, this is a concentrated nectar coming from a specific type of plant. When you drink this substance, you slip into a coma for 2 hours, um, during which your outermost layer of skin becomes more like a cocoon. Um, at the end, you are granted the benefits of a long rest, but only the health recovery of a long rest. Um, However, this is something that you personally are not subject to because you have that item that renders you immune to disease. But for anyone else, this substance is extremely addictive. If you once you consume it once, if you go 24 hours without taking another dose, cannot receive you cannot receive healing from a long rest without using more of the Drake root until you make your saves and break the addiction.
Huh. Yeah, I'll take a bunch of those.
Very good. The other thing he has, this is this one's kind of interesting. This one comes in little. It almost looks like a shrunken down kind of like petri dish. That's what this one comes in. It's like it's a shiny, um, almost like metallic looking powder. Um, he shows it to you and says, "This is the aptly named powdered order." This drug is administered by mixing it with any kind of liquid and drinking it. The effects of the drug last only 5 minutes. Um, During these 5 minutes, you must make a fortitude save every time you knowingly attempt a chaotic act. Um, if you fail the save, you lose the ability to both do the act as well as if anybody asks you about it, you cannot lie about your intentions and you also shout them out for all to hear.
I'm gonna take some of that.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so how many of whatever you're buying?
I want. How much of the nectar does he have?
It looks like he very recently got them in, so he has a pretty good amount of them. I'd say he has like 15 of them.
So the nectar is the chaos thing, right?
No, that's the that's the coma long rest one. The powder is the chaos thing.
I'm gonna take 10 vials of the nectar and then
Powder he has like 20.
I'll take
10 of the powder.
yeah, I'll take like 5 of the powder.
Okay. So that's 10 and 15. All right. So let's see. Gold cost. He puts it at 10 of the powders is going to be 50 gold for Cat, and then Dreams is going to be like 70 gold.
All right.
All right. So yeah, I will. I'll alter the text for each of those to fit our game, and I'll make sure I put those in the chat or something, just so you can add them to your sheets, the descriptions at least. Okay. So yeah. With that done, Jabrail kind of turns back to Cade, and he says, "So what's next?"
Cade looks at Jarrell and kind of goes, "Well, this is as far as my plan got.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
open for suggestions." Cade
That
just starts
turns to
thinking.
Jabril and goes, okay. So right now so before we deal with Titus, we do need to make sure the town's okay. So that's kind of our priority right now. We also won't want to move right away because currently Titus thinks he has the upper hand. The last thing we want to do is get him while he's still a little bit cautious. So he's going to remain cautious because a man like Titus knows better than to trust anybody. Wait a couple of days, get him to lower his guard, then we go on the offensive.
Out of game, I might have missed this, but did Cade already mention to Jabrail that Father Xantus agreed to take him in if needed? I don't remember if Cade mentioned that.
No, I think she told him that Father Xantus knows about him.
Right, yeah. I remember
but
that.
She didn't tell him about the agreeing to take him in.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure. So I mean, obviously, mention that or not at your own discretion. If not, then Jabrail is. I mean, provided there's no other business, Jabrail kind of gets back to getting his bar set up.
Yeah, Cade wants to make it clear, like, I didn't enjoy threatening Jabril, and that I do want to leave on amicable terms, and I'm glad that he understands it's just, like, business.
Yeah, and to that, Jabrail just says, "It's water under the bridge. It's not the first time I've been threatened. It certainly won't be the last."
Cade grins and says, "That's the same for me."
Also, we purchased immediately after doing that. That's the international sign of we good.
Yeah, of course. As always, pleasure doing business, and good luck out there.
Same to you.
All right. I'll move you guys back to the Rusty Dragon. By this point, night has fallen in Sandpoint. Not too many people are trickling into the Rusty Dragon tonight, and understandably so, given that most people are more concerned with fixing the damage than reveling. It's the town seems to have kind of left that to you guys, being the ones who saved their lives and all. Does anybody have anything they want to do, or should we take a rest or do something else?
What time is it?
It's nighttime. It's not like super late, but it's it's nighttime.
I think it's time to
rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have had a bit of a harrowing day in game. All right. So with that, a bunch of you are going to, or all of you rather, are going to take your rest. Ursula finishes working on her site, as I said. So she's got that now. There is one thing that I want to do during the rest. Let me see what this hits. Okay, this will work. All right, so. Oh, wrong channel. Wrong channel.
Hello?
Hello.
There we go. Had to get the music guy in here. All right.
You good, you good.
Because we are going to do everyone's favorite resting special.
Stream time?
Dream time.
Also, Tim, sorry, I forgot to ask. What's the duration of the powder that I bought, the chaos powder?
Once it's administered, it lasts for 5 minutes.
Got it. Thank you.
Much for me. Okay, so the lucky winner of tonight's dream sequence is Jareem.
Yes.
So, you slip off into sleep, and the next thing you know, you wake up in a snow-covered field in the dead of night. The only light around where you currently are is coming from the stars that are above you. The landscape is positively barren all around. There's no trees, no foliage of any kind in sight. Babu is hovering by your right shoulder as you sit up, and you turn to look at him, and he just seems to be staring off in the distance, but his eyes are moving around. It's like he's looking for something. As you stand up, the first thing you notice is just how bitter cold it is outside. And without much notice, Babu takes off in flight in some direction, and once you get your wits about you, you do the same and follow him. After a few minutes of traveling, the land around you takes a dip into a valley, and at this point, you can just barely make out what it seems that Babu was looking for. You see a large, circular white light that is just hovering, floating, whatever you want to call it, at the bottom of this valley, and this is surrounded by several smaller lights that are a bit dimmer than the one in the middle. There is some sort of figure sitting nearby, and the only really noticeable features about this figure are that he's completely cloaked in what looks like some kind of shadowy darkness, with the exception of where his eyes would be. You see basically two more of these circles, and they're a bit bigger than a normal person's eyes would be, but they're shining brightly, and it's just, like I said, just two glowy white circles where the eye sockets are. You look down at the ground, and strangely you notice that even though there's little to no light coming from the sky itself, you don't even see the moon. Your own shadow is growing longer at a rapid pace, and this kind of gives you a strange compulsion to study this figure. You watch and observe. And after a few minutes, it stands up and it begins to. It watches as the smaller lights start moving, and they're circling the bigger one. They're moving clockwise, and this figure stands up. And as this is happening, the figure breaks into some kind of like tribal-looking dance as it goes around the lights in turn.
I'm gonna start dancing too.
Nice. You begin to notice that as the figure dances around the lights and as they slowly move around the larger one, you begin to see these thin strands of green-colored light as they almost like break free of the smaller circles, and then they slowly are drawn to the larger one. And as this is happening, the small lights, they remain intact. They get a little bit dimmer, but none of them disappear because of this. And after a few more moments, it seems that whatever sort of transfer occurred here is finished. The smaller lights then stop circling the bigger one, and they begin to they all go off in some random direction altogether, traveling in single file. The shadowy figure takes off running in the opposite direction. And as you watch it move, you notice something strange, but it's also kind of familiar about it. And my next question to you is, do you make your presence known?
Yes.
Okay. So you call out to the figure, and it causes it to stop in its tracks. The figure turns to face you, and as it does this, there's a faint sort of aura that starts to appear around it, and it makes it a little bit easier for you to understand exactly what this is. You size it up, look them up and down. Your mind tries to process everything that's happening here, and you start to grow suspicious. The figure has relatively the same body type as you. It's close in height and weight, similar musculature. And then it approaches you. And it kind of looks like it's doing the same to you. It's sort of figuring out who you are and what you're doing here. It gets to within a few paces, maybe 5 steps or so. It stops. Tilts its head slightly to one side, and then with its left hand, it opens his hand and points his hand towards the ground. It almost as if it's casting a spell. Another shadow comes out from the hand, and it begins to take shape in front of you, and your eyes go wide because this shadow takes the form of a panther. And you begin to realize that this shadowy figure is you, or some sort of semblance of you. The figure turns to leave, but not before it leaves you with a small fragment of its dark energy. A black orb is left in the palm of your hand, and it begins to settle on your hand, and then it starts attaching itself to you. The shadow version of you gives you a wink, and then it continues running off with the panther that it's now with close behind. And you turn to Babu, and Babu's expression starts to grow a little more concerned.
Hmm.
And I think that's what we're going to call it tonight.
I like that.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool.
So, yeah, definitely a short session. But I think given that it was downtime and that a bunch of us have been having a stressful week or so, that it's probably for the best. We can definitely go harder next week, and I would imagine that we're gonna go with some order of operations that involves dealing with this situation in town and eventually going to pick up your magic items, and hey, maybe we even start making our way towards bringing
Still
bringing the
more.
fights to the giants. Yeah. um I do feel a little bad though that this was kind of so heavily focused on like only a couple of characters, but
I do too, for the record. So
I will make sure that next week is more balanced. So again, I'm sorry if anyone felt
I'm,
slighted.
by
But
the way, I'm not going to be here next week.
oh, that's right. That's right. I think you remember you telling me that.
Yes.
Well, of course, like any other time, I'll plan around it. Whatever happens, and if somebody else can't make it, maybe we just take
Yeah,
that
I'm
week off.
sorry, audience. You don't get to hear Cat ramble all next week, but for a good reason, I promise.
I believe you.
But yeah, this was a nice sort of release from such a high pressure encounter that we had over the last 3 sessions. Um, and we'll be probably ramping things right back up next week. So you're not going to want to miss that. And as
Plus,
always,
Kate is learning the value of extortion, and Cat is very proud.
yes, yes, that is absolutely true. That Kate is just back out here doing crimes. Just why not?
What?
But yeah, as always, we hope that all of you watching are taking care of yourselves and staying safe as we
Stay safe. Don't do crimes.
yeah, don't do real crimes. Do them in your tabletop games, but don't do them in real life.
Sounds
Anyway,
like this is valid point.
anyway, we are very much looking forward to next Thursday, and we hope that you can't wait either. And we will see you then. So have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Be clear?